Hello and welcome to the Life Wisdom Podcast. Today we have with us Rico Caveglia, chronological age 82, fitness age 35. He is America's health, aging trainer and creator of the Ageless Living Lifestyle, the Vitality for Life online training program, the Fast Fit 17 fitness system, and the Fearless Aging podcast and TV show. He's a speaker, author of 29 books and DVD programs, and a personal trainer and health coach for 41 years. He's also a multi-gold and silver medalist in the California State Senior Olympics and plays drums in a rock and roll band in San Diego. I'd like you to welcome Rico. Hello, Rico. How are you doing?
Hello, good morning. I'm doing well. Thanks so much for having me on your show. Yeah.
All right. So, Rico, this is pretty remarkable. Chronological age 82, fitness age 35. How do you do that?
Well, I've had the good fortune to be a personal trainer, for about 42 years. So in that time, as you learn how to take care of your health and get in good shape and be fit, and you keep on, so you have to walk your talk if you're training other people and showing them how they can get fit and stay healthy and energetic. So I've just been doing it continually all these years. So I guess it could be remarkable compared to a lot of people, but basically everybody could do the same. I'm nothing special. Everybody could do it, but you just got to make the effort. It's really about being consistent. You don't have to beat yourself up, but you got to be consistent with your health and fitness program.
So, Rico, you're saying that there's a connection between age and fitness, right? And that seems to be your experience. You seem to be living, walking, talking, breathing, evidence of the fact that if you have a healthy lifestyle, then you can also live a longer and more fruitful life. Is that kind of your message?
Yeah, no, absolutely. There's so much scientific evidence these days that we know. We used to think that it was all about our genes. Either you got good genes or you didn't get good genes, and that was determining how healthy you're going to be and how long you're going to live. But we now know that genes really play a very small role in how healthy you're going to be and how long you're going to live. It's really our lifestyle, and the reason that so many people are having all these health problems and chronic illnesses and are dying way too young. Another thing, that science has also showed us that our genetic potential is to actually stay healthy to at least 125. So that means our health span could be 125, yet we know our life expectancy in America is only about 77. So that means most people are missing out on up to 40 years of good, healthy living. And we know it's primarily our unhealthy lifestyles. So it's all about how you care for your body and your mind. And that's what's really going to determine, how well you can function for as long as you're alive. And so, the real thing that's important is not so much how long you're going to live, but it's your health span that's so important. So as long as you are alive, you want to be healthy and energetic and be able to function well. So that's the critical thing, is to develop your own personalized wellness program that's going to give you a good health span.
All right, Rico, then what does a personalized health program look like? What do you recommend for people?
Okay. Well, to my Ageless Living Lifestyle, there's basically 3 steps. And the first step is, first of all, you have to believe. You have to change your mindset. You have to believe that you can stay healthy and energetic all of your life. So, if you buy into the mainstream narrative that that's just the way it is, we're all going to get old and sick and maybe end up in a nursing home and die in our 70s or around 80. Well, as you know, our beliefs create our reality. So that if that's what you buy into, that's probably what you're going to create, and that's what you're going to end up with. So you have to change your mindset. You have to realize that you have control over your life. You have the power to to choose how you're going to live your life.
Mm-hmm.
So that's the
Yeah.
first part, is to change your mindset.
Talking about that, I have been grown up with this kind of mindset thinking as well. My grandfather lived to be 100 years old. And the reason that he
Okay.
lived that long was because he actually declared it. He actually said, I'm going to live 100 years and you
That's
will
right.
see it. And he
That
did.
is that. That's
He,
right.
despite all the things that happened in his own life, he lived, to be 100 years old. And I tell you, this was the belief system going back hundreds of years where I come from in India, that, that's what a good life meant, that you lived at least 100 years, if not longer. And in fact, people would celebrate you for that. They would take out a procession when the person died, and they
Yeah.
would literally, honor that person with a feast, that they'd lived a great life. That's what a great life is. Not this life of living like you're describing in an old age home and you're completely like washed up at the age of
Yeah.
70 or 80.
Yeah.
That's insane. I mean, my mom's 88. I'm now 66, I think. Yeah. And, I know that we can do this. I know what you're saying is true. So I'm so inspired to have you here. Tell me more.
Yeah, that's so good to hear too. It's like that new saying that we have. Mostly would say, well, I'll believe it when I see it. But it's really, you'll see it when you believe it, right?
That's
If
so
you
true.
believe it,
Yeah.
that's when you're going to see it.
Yeah.
And here's the other point I really want to make to your audience is that, we hear a lot about anti-aging these days, but really that's really the wrong terminology, because you can't stop aging. Aging is a natural process. 1 year you're 40, then you're 41 and 42. And so there's a big difference between aging and being old. So what I teach is anti-growing old strategies, because the definition of aging means to become fully mature, to reach your full potential, like fine aged wine. So aging is good. That's what we're here for, to age. But the definition of old means to be worn out, used up, unexcited about your life, unable to care for yourself. And becoming old is just a choice. It's a choice of how well you care for your mind and how you care for your body. You have to age, but you don't have to become old in the process. So
Fantastic. That is, yeah. Keeping a healthy mind seems to be a big part of it as well. That to me is kind of
that's
like
number one. That's number one.
That's number one, isn't it? I know that I have to stay excited about life. I have to have a passion in life. I have to have things that excite me, that are meaningful to me, that are, I think the whole point of having lived all these years is that you have found something that is passionate, that excites you, that to wake up in the morning, that gives you a sense of purpose. To me, that is so vital. And if I didn't have that, I'd probably go the way a lot of other people do. But I think that, if all of us can figure that one simple thing out, what is the meaning of my life? What is the purpose of my life? And what is it that lights me up when I speak about it, think about it, or do it? So I think that mental construct is so very important. Thank you for bringing that up. I think that is just so vital.
I totally agree. That's absolutely right. Having your purpose, you're not living a purpose, and you're not knowing what your purpose is, and how can you be excited about your life? And no wonder people just let themselves go and say, well, that's just the way it is. So yeah, I totally believe that we're all here with a divine purpose. And I think that divine purpose is not only to raise our consciousness and become and gain the wisdom. We need to be able to stay healthy as we age, so we can give back that wisdom and help to solve all these problems that we are facing as human beings. And also, we need more role models and people to be mentors to younger people. If they ask me, well, why should I want to live to be 125? Well, it doesn't matter if you live to 125, but as long as you're alive, because we gain knowledge and wisdom as we age. And so I think it's kind of our obligation to stay healthy and energetic, so we can, like I said, give back that knowledge and wisdom that we have, not only for younger people, but just to help to solve all these monumental challenges that we're facing on planet Earth today. So that's the biggest thing is to discover your life purpose. We all are here on purpose. So yeah, that's a big thing. That's a big part of it. Absolutely right.
And for me, I would say that When people talk of their life purpose, they think in terms of raising a family. Well, raising a family is something you can do for a few years, and that's it.
Mm-hmm.
Your kids grow up in 20 years, and then they move on. So that can't be the purpose of your life. You feel your job is the purpose of your life. Well, jobs need you to retire by the time you're somewhere in your 60s. That
Mm-hmm.
can't be the purpose of your life. You see, making money can't be the purpose of your life because, well, when you made it, well, what else are you going to do? Like that's about it. That's
Mm-hmm.
not purpose enough. You need purpose that goes beyond time, that goes
Yeah.
beyond
Yeah.
family, beyond the house, beyond material things. You need purpose that actually inspires you, that lights you up from within, that awakens your soul, as I would say, and that gives you a sense of timelessness. It's that feeling when you start living from that place that you begin to feel more alive than ever. In fact, as you're aging, you're beginning to feel more alive. Earlier, you were in the struggle of life, and now you're coming into the flow of life. And I think that's kind of a way of framing it is that as you're getting older, you're becoming like you said, that fine wine, which has this incredible aroma and incredible taste and incredible experience. So people who come across you experience that.
That's really well said, bro. Really well expressed. Absolutely, absolutely correct. And here's the thing, you know, the reason that we have this youth culture in America and we're not respecting people as they age is because of their health. See, if people were staying healthy and energetic, then they would be, have a lot more respect and young people would look up to them. But because they're losing their health and their energy and they're becoming old, they just get pushed aside. So that's why what I teach, how to live agelessly and how you need to make your health your number one priority, and then you can age well, and you can be respected, and you can be around, so you can live your purpose and give back your knowledge and wisdom to make a
And
difference in the
talking of
world.
knowledge and wisdom, I think it's really important to note that as you grow older, it's important to keep learning. It's important to keep challenging
Absolutely.
yourself. A lot of times
Yeah.
people just get into a comfort zone and stop challenging themselves. Now, that challenge could be, as you do, in the area of fitness, or it could be in the area of health, but it could also be in the area of your mind, learning new skills, learning new things. Like for me, learning this podcasting, learning how to do, all this stuff on video has been quite the challenge, but it pushes your mind. It pushes you
Yeah.
to develop new aspects, to learn new things. And that learning, though difficult in the beginning, becomes exciting as you go along and as you get better at it. So I think that, challenging your mind along with your body, I think you can talk more about the body part. I can talk more about the mind
Yeah.
part, right? So tell us more about that. How do you challenge yourself?
Yeah, I'm learning more all the time. Absolutely right. And that's what's so stimulating. That is what motivates you to want to stay healthy and live longer, because you keep learning. You have new insights. Every day I wonder, what am I going to think of or insight that's going to go, wow, yeah, just what can I learn today that not only can serve myself but can serve other people and make a difference. And speaking of, you're just learning your podcast. Well, I just learned, I have a TV show now. I moved my Fearless Aging podcast into a Fearless Aging TV show where it's streamed out to all the major streaming channels now. And that was quite a difference too, learning how to set up and do the whole TV show. But once you get it, you just go, wow, I did it, and it's so invigorating. Yeah, yeah, absolutely. You
You're
got to
on a
keep
lot of
learning.
different channels, aren't you now? You're on Hulu and so on. You were tell me more about that.
Yeah, well, the main platform that my TV show is on is called just the letter E, 360tv.com. And they're connected with all the major streaming channels like Roku and Hulu and Amazon Fire and all those things. So we have the potential to reach, millions
So
of
when
views
people are looking for
potential.
you, they're not going to the website. They can go straight to their Roku or Hulu or whatever else.
Yeah,
But if they were on their Hulu, what would they search for?
for the Fearless Aging TV show. Okay,
Mm.
so number one, we talked about number one was your mindset, and number two, then you have to get educated knowledge about what your particular body requires to live optimally, because we're all biochemically unique. So what works for one person doesn't necessarily work for another person, and that's nutrition, that's also exercise, that's sleep, all the things that we know that we need to do in order to stay healthy. So you got to get educated. It's not one size fits all. So I think that's really why the benefit of really getting yourself, at least initially, a qualified personal trainer and a nutritionist or a naturopathic doctor that can determine what foods really work best for you, and how much sleep do you need, and what are the right exercises that'll benefit you. So you need to develop your own personalized wellness system if you are going to be able to function optimally and maintain it for a long period of time.
So Rico, I know you also have a book. Is there, a place where people can get that information? Because, some people may be able to afford a personal trainer,
Right.
and a life coach and all of that kind of stuff, but some might not be able to. So they might at least be able to go get your book. What's the name of your book?
Yeah, thank you. Yeah, my main book is called Ageless Living. It's an 8.5 by 11, almost 200 pages, and it's a complete workshop. I do workshop out of my book. So if you have a copy of my book, Ageless Living, it goes through all the different areas of mindset, of nutrition, of fitness, all the things that you need to do, exercises. So you can actually go through that book and develop your own personalized wellness system. And you can get that on my website at agelesslivinglifestyle.com. Or it's also on Amazon as well. Yeah.
Okay, fantastic. So Rico, you've lived a long and incredible life, and you have so much to share with people. Have you developed a sense of the meaning, the purpose of life? A lot of young people inquire about this, and I think there's a little spiritual element I sense in what you've been talking about, that there's something more than just being fit, just being buff, or, trying to develop the body. For some people, all they think of in life is, oh, I've got to make a ton of money. For others, it's about, oh, I've got to be so fit. But that's all external, right? And then there's the mind. Oh, I've got to have a good mind. But tell me, is there more to life that you've understood?
Yeah, no question about it. And that is what wisdom is. We get a lot of knowledge, and then wisdom is really realizing how to apply that knowledge and what's your life really about. And as we talked about earlier, we can have many different purposes, as you were mentioning. Yeah, I mean, when you do have a family, that is a purpose, to raise your family and to be successful in your business or whatever. Those are all purposes, but I think we all have a divine purpose, and that is to learn how to live together on this planet in peace. We're all brothers and sisters here, and so far, we've been on this planet, human beings, for over 200,000 years, and we haven't really progressed very far. As you know, we're still fighting and killing each other, and right? I mean, how stupid is that? How ridiculously that is.
Yeah.
And so, my main purpose now is to spread that message of that we're here to learn how to get along with each other and live in peace. And what an amazing world it could be.
Yeah.
So I think we're in the creator, the source, God, however you want to think of it. We're like in a big play here, and we have to go through all these struggles, and we're here to learn and grow, and then eventually it's like the hero's journey. We're going to figure it out, and we're going to learn how to just live in peace and create a beautiful life here for where everybody is involved, and everybody has a good life, and everybody has an opportunity to express their unique talents and abilities. Here's the thing I always like to ask people. I mean, look how much stuff we've created now, how much amazing music and literature and technology and architecture, all these amazing things but yet all those things have been created by just a small percentage of the population, because the majority of people on this planet are just in survival mode. They're just barely trying to survive, and not even very well. Think about if we were living in peace, everybody had a high standard of living and had the opportunity to express their talents and abilities. It's mind-blowing what we would be creating and experiencing.
A big part of it is that we've not really learned how to conquer this. We've learned how to conquer the world, matter, We've learned how to create all kinds of objects, from robots to artificial intelligence to
Mm-hmm.
technologies to industry. We've managed to create all kinds of products. You can go to a store and you'll find thousands of different products all over the store. But we haven't learned how to conquer the final and most important frontier, and that is ourselves, our own
Exactly.
mind, our own
Exactly.
body. We've not learned how to take care of this organism, this beautiful gift that we've been given, nor have we learned how to be able to operate our own minds. Ask the most advanced AI engineers or technology experts, how do you stop your mind? How do you direct it in a different way? How do you stop your impulses? How do you stop your senses that want chocolate, or ice cream or something like that, which may not be good for you, or chips or whatever else it might be? How do you stop your impulses and control your senses? But for a lot of people, that seems to be all that they're obsessed about, is how to enjoy their senses and how to have a
Mm-hmm.
great time and how to be able to have fun and how to enjoy. But that only lasts so long. How far can you keep going with that? Ultimately, if you want this body to survive, if you want this mind to be healthy, you're going to have to exercise restraint. Too much of all this indulgence only messes up, creates weight, creates fogginess in the brain, all kinds of problems. What do you come across, Rico, when you with
Well,
all of these issues?
yeah. Well, that's being caught just in our three-dimensional uh, life, our material life. Well, that's what meditation's all about. That's really what spirituality is all about. Meditation is about removing yourself from the external world for a while and slowing down those thoughts of just, what am I doing here? What I need to do for my physical self. And so that's what meditation has been around for so long. And that's what all the spiritual masters have taught us, that we actually live in a multidimensional universe. And so in order to escape from being controlled just by our three-dimensional senses, as you mentioned, that's what meditation is quieting your mind and being able to tap into uh, our higher self, or some people will call it our intuition or our higher self. And actually, I believe, that however you think we're created by the creative force, the source, God, it's all inside of ourselves. So that's what meditation is: to slow down your thoughts and really begin to tap into to our true self, which is multidimensional.
Rico, I could not have said it better. That is so wonderful. Thank you. Because to me, that is really the purpose of life, is to find out, who am I?
Mm-hmm.
Who am I? Why am I here? What created
Mm-hmm.
all of this?
Yeah.
What's the purpose of me being born and then dying? Why do I have to go through this cycle? How do I optimize this organism that I live in? And recognize that I'm not the organism, I'm not the body, I'm not the mind, I'm not
Mm-hmm.
my thoughts, I'm not my emotions, I'm not even my experiences. That doesn't define me. I may have had a bad experience at one time, I can change that and have a different experience. I don't have to
Mm-hmm.
be defined by where I was born. I don't have to be defined by the experiences I've had. I don't need to be defined by any of that. I am so much more than all of it. So when we come in touch with this ageless existence of who we are, your whole site is called about ageless living. And to me,
Mm-hmm.
ageless living is such a fascinating concept because we are ageless beings. Actually, if you think about it, you existed when you were a tiny little baby. You existed when you were an adolescent. You existed when you were a teenager. And you exist even as you age and become older. Your body is the thing that is aging. You never age. In fact, many of us think of, I don't even feel like I'm 60 or 80 or whatever, or 40, whatever it is. I feel like I'm in my 20s. And that's right.
Mm-hmm.
That's because you, the real you, never aged. It is ageless, right? And
Yeah.
it is only the
Yeah.
body and mind that is going through a process. And if directed and handled properly, then even the body and mind's aging will actually, instead of bringing you down, will actually elevate you. I've seen so many people in their 80s, in their 90s, and even in their hundreds who are living incredible lives. Their minds are sharp, their faculties are right on point because They've been training themselves. They've been preparing for aging. They've been training themselves for this inevitable thing that happens to all of us. It's like this thing happens to everyone, and yet no
Yeah.
one's trying to prepare for it. But this is
Yeah.
what is guaranteed, that we go through birth, old age, disease, and death. We will go through it. So how do we prepare and become alive and vibrant despite all the effects of that the world throws at us, and that our body throws at us, and that people throw at us? Like, how do we stay alive and vibrant, right? So I think that's like the ageless message we want to get across, that my soul is ageless, and how can I get my body and mind to be able to live in that way as well? You have such a
Yeah.
powerful message to bring, Rico. I love what you're doing. I love the work you're all about. And I really admire you for that. And I love the spiritual insight that you have to add to that. So I really want to recommend that people come and check out what your work is. They go to your website. Tell me that name again.
It's Ageless Living Lifestyle.
.com, correct? And from there, they can find the links to your book, and they can find the links to everything else. Is there are there any parting words you would like to share? Maybe a message for the younger generation, or even people of our age, who are getting older? And is there any particular parting words you'd like to have for them?
I think the main message is that you can do it. You just have to take responsibility. Everybody wants to be powerful, right? You like to be a powerful person. Well, guess what? It's easy to be powerful. Being powerful is just taking responsibility for every aspect of your life. So if you don't take responsibility, then you're a victim. You give up your power. So just take responsibility for every aspect of your life, and know that you can do it. And that's what you're here for, to do it. And just like the famous Nike saying, just go out and do it, because you can.
I love the distinction you're making, that real power lies in choice. And choice is, I can do it. Choice is, I can be vibrant and alive even as I'm going older. That age doesn't need to break me down, nor does life need to break me down, the circumstances, the situations, whatever. I am a powerful being with incredible possibilities, and I need to be able to tap into that. Thank you, Rico. It's been an amazing conversation. So love having you here. And I wish you all success. And I invite everyone to come and check out your website and read your books and with your courses. If you're in San Diego, please go check out Rico. Take him on as your personal trainer. Have him be your inspiration and your mentor. And I'm so blessed to have you here. Thank you. Thanks again.
Thank you. I was blessed to be here with you. Thank you.